Today we have come here with our brother, our guy, the humble, calm, and responsible and selfless John Dramani Mahama, the man who promises and delivers, the man who presided over one of the best economic conditions under the Fourth Republic. We know that this natural, God-given leader impeded the evil schemes of the nation wreckers who sought to capture the state for their families and business interests. Mr. President, we know that it was for this reason that they procured foreign consultants in 2016 and 2020 to manufacture evil propaganda, half-truths, and barefaced lies to discredit you. We knew it that for them to be able to amass this world for themselves and steal from us, they needed to destroy your reputation. That Ghana was set, we all knew that under your leadership, Ghana was set on the right path. To this dubious end, they rallied self-centered clergymen and women, corrupt, I use the word evil, but civil society groups, and rented media to achieve this agenda. Today, these men of God, religious groups, and civil society have suddenly disappeared and become deaf, dumb, and blind to the wanton acts of corruption, state capture, and untold hardship unleashed on Ghanaians by Baumia and the Akufo-Addo administration. Their hands are now full from the loot they are stealing. But of course, we know that their consultants are at work again. We are serving a cold warning to them, to this nation wreckers, that the Ghanaian youth will not sit idle and watch you do what you did. If you respond with one, we will respond with seven. The honesty and transparency of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama remain unimpeached. He stands tall above all accusations. Indeed, we recollect with great concern and righteous anger the unjustified accusations of corruption leveled against him in the Airbus scandal. Today, we are made aware that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was not involved in any act of corruption. Today we are made aware that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was not involved in any act of corruption concerning the Airbus saga. The special prosecutor, who was appointed by Akufo-Addo himself, after thorough and diligent investigations, cleared President Mahama of any misconduct. President Mahama, congratulations. Yamauchimpa. Mr. President, we know the many unsubstantiated allegations that were made against you and the NDC. We knew how it weighed heavily on you, but we are grateful to God that with time you have been vindicated. In President Mahama, ladies and gentlemen, we have a leader who promises and delivers. All the many promises he made, he delivered. We have a leader who takes responsibility when there are crises. When the energy crisis happened, he stood before the people of Ghana and accepted full responsibility, even though it was not his making. And he assured the good people of Ghana that he was going to fix it, and he truly fixed it. Now that the economy is broken. Now that we are in a mess, we need a fixer. And we know President Mahama is capable and is able of fixing the mess the NPP has left us in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come here with the man we call the nation builder, John Dramani Mahama, to discuss how we will change and reset the destiny of us young people and Ghanaians at large towards progress. Here is a decent man who will not use disrespectful or unprintable words on his political opponents or ask them to vote for him because he belongs to their religion or kinsman. Here is the Mahama who tolerates even his sworn enemies, critics and opponents, and even breaks bread with them. And today we have heard many of them come out and apologize for all they did and said about him. Dear citizens, that we are in a crisis is not in doubt. However, of greater concern for us is that our democracy is at stake. As we commemorate International Youth Day, we must take stock of how far our country has fallen and appreciate the full extent of the dangers that we face if we do not change course. Young people are losing interest in our democracy. We should remember as young people how we have been robbed of our dignity as human beings and how our future has been stolen from us. More significantly, we must not forget to hold the government accountable for our suffering. And we must do so by joining His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to reset the destiny of our country. You must stand up and be counted as a young person at this material moment. Ghana demands of you your time and devotion. And who better to lead us change this corrupt and inept government than the one who has done some before, Ayebida, John Dramani Mahama. Finally, Uncle John and Auntie Nana, we want to assure you, and the three of us as your youth leaders, together with the many Ghanaian youth out there, promise you that the NDC Youth Wing and the youth of Ghana shall win youth power come 7th December. President Mama and Auntie Nana, I am committed, and I know my two deputies are equally committed. I know the Ghanaian youth is committed. This election is our revolution without a gun. It's a revolution of mind and wit. It's a revolution where the gun will be the ballot, and we'll go out there and vote massively. And we will make sure that that ballot box is protected. And like we always say, the NDC is law-abiding. The NDC will do everything because we are the midwives of Ghana's democracy. We will do everything to protect the democracy, but we shall not become the victims of peace. If anybody wants peace, let us all of us sit and negotiate peace. If you draw your dagger, we will draw our dagger. We will do everything as legal and law-abiding citizens. We shall not foment trouble anywhere. But the elections of 2020, Techiman South will not repeat itself again. We shall take power. And I repeat, we shall take power, come what may, through every legal means on the 7th of December. May God bless our hustle as young people. Long live the NDC, long live President Mahama and Auntie Nana, long live Ghana, and long live the Ghanaian youth. Thank you very much.
Manifesto. Please ensure they use the NDC Youth Manifesto trends today in the trending timelines. Thank you very much. Before I call on our next speaker, I'd like to quickly do some further acknowledgments, please. These people have worked tirelessly to bring us here. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Professor Damso Boafo, whose opportunity given me helped me to work in the lab committees. Professor, I thank you for your mentorship. Thank you so very much, Prof. I'd like to also acknowledge, please, some calm. Thank you, Vuvuzela, thank you. Prophet Chief Viney, Deputy Campaign Coordinator. Chief Viney, where is your face? Thank you, that's Chief Viney. I'd like to also acknowledge the presence of Mr. Yakubu Abanga Al-Hassan, who is the National Vice Chair and also acting in the stead of our National Chairman, General Esiedu Nketia. Please, let's give him a round of applause as well. I'd quickly like to go through these names. Please, silence, thank you. Dr. Kojo Jones, Vice Chair, Youth Wing Finance Committee, and to our abled Chair, Julian Kobina, Chair of the Youth Manifesto. Julian, rise and let's see you. Thank you for your leadership and great work, Julian. And also I'd like to acknowledge Okai Minta, Chair of the National Youth Working Committee. Thank you. We also have Dr. Omani Buama. He says that our eyes make red. We are watching them. This ballot will not be stolen. Inshallah. Dr. Omani Buama, Director of Elections of the NDC. Lawyer, the lawyer's lawyer. When you have a problem, who do you go to? I can't hear you. If you have a problem, who will you go to? Lawyer AGG Tamaklo, Jew 2. Thank you, Lawyer AGG Tamaklo. Our ministers and former ministers who are in the house, we acknowledge your presence as well. Thank you for your presence. We also acknowledge the presence of Dr. Peter Buama Otukono, who is the, Director. Dr. Peter Buama Otukono. Peter, forgive me. I missed the heading. Forgive me. Our indefatigable National Communications Officer. Officer 1. Officer 1. Sammy JP. Thank you. We also acknowledge, I think that's it for now. Thank you very much. And the entire organizing committee led by Charles Tete Arafat. Mutani Zongo Kunanang. Amara Abadaweya. Zongo is falling for the NDC. Thank you for your continuous commitment to the NDC. I say that in the Zongo communities, we say that NDC is our legacy, is our inheritance. We will hold on to it. No imposter will be allowed. No imposter will be allowed in our Zongo community. Inshallah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Comrades, youth, power, action. Next to speak to us, he's been through the mill. He's been a former member of parliament for Ketu South, a former deputy minister of finance, a former minister of transport, and a former comms director of our party. And today, he's the scribe of the great Akadamaso family, the general secretary, the indefatigable, the general secretary 1, Fifi Fiavi Kwete.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I want to begin by saluting the flag bearer of this great political party, the National Democratic Congress, the former president, and by God's grace, the soon to be elected President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. I want to acknowledge Professor Nana Jane Oboku-Ajiman, the running mate of our flag bearer. I want to acknowledge all the national deputies who are here. I want to particularly acknowledge our national youth organizer, George Opariado, who leads this great movement of young people and who has made it possible for us today to have this wonderful program. I want to particularly acknowledge also Professor Danso Boafo, who is the chairman of the Manifesto committee, for the wonderful work that has resulted in this first part of the manifesto that is devoted for the young people, and also the main manifesto that will soon be adored. We do know that our friends have rushed into doing their manifesto, I think, in a few days' time. But we are not moved at all, because what is quality remains quality. And whether they try to plagiarize or steal our ideas, we know that our ideas cannot be stolen by anybody. I want to thank every single one of you here and the millions of Ghanaians who are watching and listening to us today. As we gathered here this morning and we sang the inspiring words of our anthem, which my sister Shemima described as the NDC national anthem. The words of that anthem said, "Arise, arise for Ghana, all patriots of the land." And then we sang the youth anthem. And that youth anthem says, "Arise, Ghana youth, for your country." Now what does that tell you? It tells you involved, we are all involved, we are all involved in building up the land. Thank you so much. Now it tells you that the NDC is a party whose anthem connects to the very anthem of the youth of our country. And both anthems call upon us to arise for our beautiful motherland. The destiny of this country is in the hands of you, the young people. This morning, as the young people were asked to stand, some of us actually have to sit, because even though Fountain will be called youth, we have to acknowledge we have gradually moved to the level where we can no more be exact youth today. And therefore we need to devote ourselves to serving the generation beyond, after us, for the sake of our country. And I want to say that the generation after us, you have a responsibility to salvage our country. Today, the flag bearer of our party will take time to unveil to you the policies of this party, whose heartbeat is after the destiny of our young people. He will elaborate plans, which plans we believe will set this country back towards giving hope and prosperity to our young people again. Over the last 8 years, we've seen the hopes of our young people totally crushed. I don't think there's been any time in our history, maybe prior to 1982, when we've seen so many young people want to leave this country in droves, as we have seen over the last 8 years. It's sad. It's sad that this country, that on the verge of 2009, when the NDC came to office, we had young people who were trooping back to this country from the US, UK, different parts of the world, because they saw hope of a country that was again looking towards building back. And unfortunately, over the last 8 years, we have seen nothing short of the collapse of the economy of this country and the loss of hope and the despair of our young people. Now, so we do know that the policies that are going to be unveiled today will begin to give you hope again. But the hope is not just in the policies. Because you know what? Anybody can have a policy. Anybody at all can have a policy. Over the last 8 years, we have seen policies that have been unveiled. How many of you remember NAPCO? What has happened? What has happened to that? Because it was nothing but a scam and 419 policy. that was designed just for votes. The difference between us and them is that we think about policy first for progress before votes. Our policies are meant for progress before votes. So when they think about power, we think about progress. And that is the difference between a party that cares and a party that only wants votes for the sake of votes. In John Dramani Mahama and the NDC, you are finding a leader of a political party that is not perfect, but a leader of a political party that has credibility and that wants to put the progress of our nation as number one. So we want to thank you for this opportunity to reach out to all of you in your homes, in your workplaces, wherever you may be, asking you to give an opportunity for the flag bearer of this great party to reach out to you with detailed policies that you can trust. Policies that mean well for Ghana. Policies that are not just telling you things for the sake of power, but telling you things truly for the sake of progress. So I want to thank you once more for the opportunity. And once again, Pablo and your team, thank you for this great opportunity. God bless.
That my country will be better, and that the audience of a government that promised the future. I know I am too young to ask why, but who among the elders in the boardroom debate our future? I have written these dreams on the walls of hope, but to what end are these achievable in a country found at the bottomless pit by the government of the day? Standing at the crossroad of hopelessness, jobless and helpless, watching my daily struggles go unrewarded because there is a group of people joking with our future, breaks my heart. I have lost count of how many times the government promised to create jobs, but my friends and I are still struggling to make ends meet. I was promised a better life, but they delivered hardship. We were promised jobs, but they gave us unemployment. They promised us hope, but they took away our dignity. Let me tell you my story. Gaining admission to the university looks like a success story, but the letters of rejection and the reason silence of the school looks like a punch on my future. This reality exposes the government's failure to provide sustainable opportunities for its youth. Their inability to create jobs and stimulate economic growth has left many young people like me in limbo. Stories like mine are a testament to the government's failure to deliver on its mandate. So sometimes I ask, is this really the Ghana I want?
I'm a young person, and it is now unbearable to survive in this country due to the economic hardship.
As a young girl as I am, living in this country is now unbearable.
Talk about the E-levy. We all know COVID-19 was some years back, but we are still being taxed for COVID-19 and all that. But I feel like they should care about the people, basically that. So this is not the Ghana I want.
The type of Ghana I find myself in is today when you ask for something, but the next minute you turn and come back, the price has increased. Everything is not going on well. The country has been messed up.
But it's never my memory there. Just I'm the Brewer Street in it because I buy no move and favor was street no that. Yeah, I acquire to Yamaka Kaka Tono to acquire and a China tum at the Chate, Samaya bread.
I'm the son coming for school, but not scan if you said as Canombe you soon be a biason sono, if you're more than some more packet from a modern, no one can some way a day, or more you saw my day. I mean, now it's a more gun.
What I say, this is just 1 liter franc number 15 cities, and I want to also 70 cities. Never more a day.
We the youth, we are suffering much. Me like this, I completed SS, but I have no support to go further. So I'm here that I'm doing some work so that I will earn something to feed myself small.
And you'll be after say, or bet Nagana on your Mabiao. And you'll be after so, we'll call for Bokrono. I do man anyone in a month for the Bribon or Mokobokrono.
No matter how hard you work, and no matter how hard I work, we still use our salaries to pay for the basic things. And then even some of us are not even able to afford that. We're not able to pay our school fees. Nursing students are always complaining of school dropouts because they're unable to pay their fees. And the promised allowance that they were even promised, they are not even getting it.
I went out to buy sanitary pads, and then it was 20 Ghana cedis, which is not supposed to be like that. Assuming that was the only money I was having on me, what am I going to eat that evening? It's hard for us students.
Oh, but there are many journalists. I think 70 years journalists. Because I'm not more journalists. What always we do me research. We say I'm sure you know me account. And see, I'm a journalist. You want to go a film.
So that the mommy was the Aneshkas and Bound, maybe Mujalewa. Why are you living if we had fever?
Mama, you know, in your door, the infant's not my new. I have to overcome you, man. So I'm not for the bro, be well, very invest, no, because I or nursing train or acquire a college or a brochure. And yes, I have to say, a giant or your person, you know, I am boy or mine, Nanya Family.
Farming work inside. So a hard and a drone, Yama seeds now a hard dream.
I'm paying for. Yes, Mumbai, or mine, my shall be bad and poignant. Yenina, Yakamu, Mumbuye.
Oh, I'm going for politics in Tunche. Now, say, dear, who compare your ma. And any kind of difference room. Just say the animal will compare Obia Wuni, Obia Chassis, you know. Like I say, I can't in your wound ground who was in your or Chassis here no cry.
Oh, the youth right now there. It makes a plenty of people say no feed the land work because of how hardship they. Everybody wants quick money because the person who can't learn work from you, they live if you know few worker. No, if you need to give us some chop, they go chop. They find quick money, they let the kids plenty data inside. But hopefully, say things go become better.
Near Tashi, me Ghana is a good quota and a party to the science student no move. I'm going to see as I do winning now. In the Nyansa, any move to move Sebi, say, and to me, Yampa oil any the men to find from money, you be a money in a year.
just were done by professionals. We don't want any emergency situation. Thank you. If you have just joined us across the world, we are live in the Kofi Kunedu Auditorium of the UPSA at the launch of the 2024 NDC Youth Manifesto, themed Empowering Tomorrow, Voices of the Future. Earlier, you heard the General Secretary of the NDC, Fifi Kwete, after which we showed you a video documentary titled Voices of the Future, where young people themselves spoke to us about their reality. We are going now into the meat of the matter. I'd like to quickly add that we're also streaming live and showing live on Pan-African television as well as GH1 TV. The Okada Riders Executives, are you in the house? Okada Riders Executive, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, yes. And we also have the NDC Professional Forum. Who said the sea cannot be bent? Who said the sea cannot be bent? Let's acknowledge the man of the moment, Basin Saleh. Very well. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. So we are going now to take a number of speeches and some highlights from the manifesto. Please bear with us with the 24 Youth Manifesto. To speak first on the topic, Youth Entrepreneurship and Skills Development, Agriculture and Agribusiness, is a former SRC president of Legon, a lawyer, an entrepreneur, a Harvard Kennedy School graduate, a co-chair Africa Caucus at Harvard, and founder CEO of an agribusiness company. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready, please welcome Mr. Edmond Combats with a round of applause.
Mr. President, Your Excellency, former President of the Republic of Ghana, and God willing, incoming President, 7th January 2025. Our Vice Presidential candidate, the ethically well-trained, culturally sensitive, historically prudent Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman. Mr. President, with your permission, I want to stand on the existing protocols to proceed with my presentation. Originally, I wanted to present a tale of two countries, comparing Ghana to that of Thailand, and to be able to contextualize what President Mahama and the NDC is going to do that is different compared to what has happened historically. So one of the things that I'm going to talk on is youth entrepreneurship and skills development. If you look at the case of Ghana and Thailand, around 1962 we had almost similar per capita income. Ghana focused a lot on theoretical education, and over a period of time we have done well. We've had a lot of the masters, the PhD, but in terms of economic development, Thailand has gone up and we have gone down. President Mahama, with the experience that he has, wants to change that. So what he wants to do is to focus on skill development, and the first thing he wants to do is a program he's initiating called the Ejumawura program. This program is going to ensure that every year, every 12 months, 10,000 businesses are established by young people. 10,000 businesses. Not 10,000 jobs, but 10,000 businesses. And these businesses will be made to employ at least between 20 to 50 people over the 4-year period. So with the first year in 2025, at the end of that year, we will have created approximately 500,000 jobs. And over a 4-year period, it will go to 2 million. In order to do that, President Mahama is going to establish a national apprenticeship program. in each district where he's going to set up business services. And he's going to have a lot of people to teach young businesses, to learn how to do bookkeeping, to learn how to manage, to learn how to run the business, to learn how to file GRA forms that are needed so that they can be mentored to build businesses, and then from raw materials they can move to a value addition. So that's the first thing that he's going to do. There will be a national apprenticeship program. And added to that, one of the problems that we young people have when we start business is that we are told by the banks that we are not credit worthy. President Mahama is going to have a database where our businesses and our experiences are kept inside, and then it is linked to the national credit system so that we can be appraised over a period of time, and then his government intends to make sure that over a long period of time we are allowed to be able to grow our businesses and become the Dangotes of tomorrow. Another thing that President Mahama wants to do is to establish a youth microcredit institution with a seed fund of 750 million Ghana cedis. It's going to be in the form of a grant, easy access for you and me to be able to start our businesses. And then it's also going to have youth innovation and industrial parks in all the districts across the country. But one of the things that even interests me and makes me, grateful to be standing here is that I was born and raised in a small village in the northeast region. I'm from Bunkrugu. So most of the documentaries that were shared here, I saw myself there growing up. What President Mahama wants to do is things that is going to touch people like me and people like me who are in the audience and who are watching virtually. And one of the key things is that he's going to invest a lot in agriculture. And if you iterate the numbers, he's going to create about 2.5 million jobs. And these are the facts. So what he's going to do, President Mahama and the NDC has identified that as young people, when we go into agriculture, we have problems getting land because of the land tenure system. He's going to use the force of government to work with our chiefs to get lands and divide it into agri-ecological zones across the country and give us the opportunity to be able to farm. So we will no longer go through the hassle of accessing lands because the government will do that. And on top of that, you have farm services companies who will be in each of the districts. And their duty will be to help us get improved seeds, to help us get fertilizer, to help us get access to market for the produce, and to make sure that it is linked to value addition. So there's going to be an agro-processing component on that. So for example, if you're a young person here and you sign up to that program and you cultivate soya beans of 1,000 acres, soya beans of 1,000 acres with improved seeds, you can get about 3 tons per acre. So if you calculate it, by the end of this year, soybean prices per ton was 9,000 cedis. So if you do 1,000 acres, you can employ 100 people, and within 120 days, you can make $1.5 million from that. So that is what he's coming to do. So this is why I am excited to be here to reiterate that if you're a young person like me, if you don't have a double-barrel surname, and your father or your grandfather was not part of the Big Six, and your father is not president, and you cannot get $34.5 million to be able to supply spare parts, and you are like me, please do not sit. Get up, join the train, campaign, and vote for President Mahama come December 7th. He is the safest pair of hands, he is the best person, and I encourage all of you to support us to make him the president of Ghana. Thank you very much.
Youth, 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 power, power, action. Thank you very much, Edmond Combat. We have the men, we have the women, and we have the youth, don't we? Next, we'll be speaking on the topic employment, job creation, and the 24-hour economy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome a former General Secretary of the Ghana Union of Professional Students, a social entrepreneur, participants at the Ghana Stanford University Bing Overseas Program 2023, member 2023 cohort of the Frederick Ebert Stiff Tank Young Leaders Program, a dynamic, amplified woman, Lamisi Mezes Apeliba. Show some love, please.
fees stress. What are we saying? President John Mahama is simply promising that, one, for all university entrants into level 100, you are not paying academic fees. No academic fees for all level 100 students. We've heard many stories. We've heard many stories about students who finish school with 6 A's, 7 A's, 8 A's, and we have to start crowdfunding sources without stress. So when I say education with Mahama, you say no fees stress. Education with Mahama. Education with Mahama. I remember my time in Kenya University very well. I was given the prestigious hall, the rest can argue, Katanga Hall. Yes, I was a fellow. But the beauty of it was that I enjoyed every part of my first year. The rest of the time I had to go and find another